Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to be going over net metering. Now, specifically to start it off, the history behind it is everyone has been getting these meters replaced, and that's part of the state mandate is to have more of a smart grid. That way they can track the electricity consumption and be more aware of what locations need more help, see power outages quicker, use solar, etc. And so they're switching everyone's meters from the old school ones, the analog, to now the digital ones, to where they can be tracked via satellite, and so that way the electricity can move forwards and backwards. Now, when we're looking at specific Colorado, time of use is in Fort Collins. It's out here in Excel, and we're going to be getting into that. But to bring it to the basics, right? What we're looking at here is that the power and delivery portion of the bill is 36%. So when we look at that, if your residential bill is $67, then about 24 of that would have been the cost for having it delivered to your home. So that's pretty crazy. And so when we're kind of backing up and we're looking at the old grid, what it looks like is these power lines and transmission stations and everything like that, you're paying for it. We all are on our bill. And so this has to do with taxes and fees. This has to do with electricity consumption and the grid infrastructure, building new things, renewable plans, etc. Now, if we look over here, this is kind of the difference. We are replacing the old system with new system, less parts, less maintenance, easier sustainable energy. Now, when we look at how it works is the sun shines down on the panels. That converts it to AC electricity. It begins as direct current and then transitions to alternating current. That is the same thing that substations do at the power stations. Now, it flows through the meter and back to the utility grid. Whatever you use stays at the home. Whatever you don't goes back to the grid. Then the utility credits the account, so that way you can use it when you need it, kind of like rollover. So it kind of works like a hybrid. It's pretty cool. You don't need it pull it at night. And so when we're looking into the actual explanation to customers, we're going to be looking at it as like rollover minutes. And so an easy way to explain it is you can draw a house. And I always say, excuse my art skills. I did not go to art school, so I apologize for the horrible house. This is not a representation of your house specifically, but it'll do the job. So let's say we have the house, right? And we have the sun that is shining down on the panels. So the solar system is going to be designed to produce more than you need throughout the day, because that's when the sun's producing. And so it produces enough to offset what you need at night. So what we're looking at, for example, let's say we produce 100 kilowatt hours for this day, but you as a homeowner only use 50 kilowatt hours, then what would happen is there would be an excess of 50 kilowatt hours that have been produced but not consumed. And so Excel credits your account and they act as a storage bank. So that way at night when you need it, you can pull it back. And it also works the same way month to month. So I'm not going to draw all the months for time's sake, but usually electricity bill looks something like this. And the solar system is designed to produce something around, right, maybe more looking like right here, to be honest. So the solar system is going to produce something pretty even. And so when we're looking at months where we used less than it produced, so this is excess, that goes into our storage bank. Same with this, same with this, same with this, same with this. This all goes to the storage bank. That's because then when there's months that we use more, like right here, we can pull that and apply that. And that way we are offsetting it and we are able to consume all of the electricity that we produce. So it's pretty cool. And that's how we got around the need for batteries. and it's actually in every state that is in the US. So that is net metering, but specifically to time of use, what solar allows you to do is when you're looking at the utility and they are charging time of use. So either if it's in Fort Collins, if it's here, there's going to be a time where it's normal rates. There's going to be a time where it's either mid peak or just continually peak. So it usually goes up multiple and then back down and back here. So this is mid peak. So this is 2 times the base rate. This is 3 times the base rate. So what it does is instead of being charged from in Excel 1 to 3, double the rate, it'd be like if gas was $6 a gallon. That wouldn't make much sense, right? Or if it was $9 a gallon from 3 to 7 p.m. Fort Collins has it different to where it is winter and summer, where it transitions from 5 to 9 now. And so what solar allows you to do is you can come in here and you can lock in your rate. So that way, no matter what time of day, from 12 a.m. to 12 a.m., 24 hours, you have a fixed rate. And it usually ranges from anywhere from 10.5 cents to probably 14.5 cents per kilowatt hour. And that's just kind of depending on the person's situation. So this is how it works specifically. So that way then they're able to look at it and say, okay, I'm not gonna have to worry about these time of use. Now I can, instead of having to worry about when my kids are doing laundry or when I'm doing laundry, when my kids are playing video games, now I can just do what I need to do when I need to do it from the times of 1 to 7 p.m. and not have to think about this here. So similar to Fort Collins, but the cool thing is that with Excel, we can go to 200% of their offset. So if they use 10,000 kilowatts in the last year, then we can up that to the system producing 20,000. And so it used to be just 120%. Now with Fort Collins, we've been keeping it at 120%. I'm not sure if they've bumped it up to the 200 mark yet, but how it works is essentially, let's say you have used 10,000 kilowatt hours in 2021. Okay. Now, let's say your solar system already installed had produced 13,000 kilowatt hours in 2021. So for Fort Collins, utility, what happens is they will actually take this 3,000 kilowatt hours, and if you don't use it, they'll buy it back at a certain rate that they've set up, and we'll apply it to the customer's water bill. So that is awesome as well. So now the solar can offset 2 bills. So that is net metering in a nutshell. If you have any more questions, please reach out to your fire team leader or your managers. We'd be more than happy to help. But I'll see you next time in the next video. Thanks for watching.